Hello, and welcome back. So let's continue with this series of tutorials using this geometry. Okay, so now let's see what we are going to do now. Okay, just to show you, in the previous video, we visit the coordinates filter. Okay, there is another one called cell centers. Pretty much we'll do the same of the coordinate, but you remember always you have the documentation and you can check there. So you have coordinates here, you can read what it's doing. So look at this point locations and cell centers. We saw that previous video, but then you have the cell center, and then you might wonder what does it do. Just see it there. Okay, so you can get an idea what is happening. So let me go here, apply, and there you go. So I have the filter. I apply that filter to the aircraft, and if I go here, surface, and sorry, here, no, sorry. Let me apply that filter here. I have it in reason. Okay. I don't see anything. I have that interior, that data. Okay, let me hide here. But if you click there, you get the vertex cells. Okay, you have everything there. And following the same logic, you can go here, filter, and cell center, apply, and you have it there. So you have all your cell centers, and if you want, you can put the spheres and so on. So another way, there is a difference of the operations that you can do between coordinates and cell center. I don't recall, but for some filters you need to use cell centers, so other filters will take coordinate, but you have it there. So what we're going to do now, we have visit calculator, this also, well, this is no, this, we're not using this one, or probably yes, when we import an image, we have used this, and we're missing this and this. Okay, and then right now we don't need this one, we have seen this. So let's work with Glyph. We're going to use it for vectors, but you have seen that you can use it for many things. So let's plot vectors, and I want to plot vectors in this plane. So as usual, same logic, you have your plot pipeline, select the object here, and then the filter that you want to apply, and you can just have nested filter for filters and so on. So apply there. I want to have a vector. You need a vector. Okay, so recall in the calculator we talked about you can have the scalar, or you can assemble the vector. Here you need to have a vector. You need to assemble that to plot. No scale. Okay, let me change that one, and there you go. So you have the vectors in that plane. So play with the options, so you see that you can have many shapes, so how you want your vector to be, whatever, so it's up to you. You can also change the color, so let me put here, and let me hide this one, and there you have. Why don't you see all the vectors? So like many filters, to avoid the simulation crashing, the visualization crashing, or slowing down things, usually it doesn't visualize everything. Okay, so if you go down here, see by default it's going to visualize this many vectors, sorry, and you can choose all points. It would see everything. So this is not a large mesh, but imagine if you have a billion cells mesh, and in this plane you have, I don't know, 1 million vectors, that can slow down things. So this is kind of to avoid those problems. So always check that. It is an advanced option, if I will recall. Yes. Okay, now you can have it. You can change it here every end. So let's see, every 2 rows you show me, or you can go in a more random way, so you have surface bounding and so on. So it's up to you. Okay, so we have it there, the vectors, and you can color those vectors and so on. But many times happens that people wants to plot in a plane, the parallel projection or perpendicular projection of this vector. How do we do that? So let me show you that. That is relatively easy, and as usual there is a filter for that. So let me go here, let me create a plane That is okay. So you have the glyphs there. Let me hide that one. Let me put here solid color, and I want to see the plane. Okay, I'll probably show me pressure field. Okay, I still have there the let me go here, let me disable. Okay, so these options, you can see you can use a separate color map. Okay, so you can create, and you can go back here and disable the color map that I have enabled. So okay, so let me do things easier. Let me use this, and let me plot here vectors in this plane. Okay, so you go, you put it. This is a scaling. Now let me disable the scaling, and you have it there. So you can put a scaling by Mach number, let's say, and you will see everything that is. Scale is up to you, okay, but be careful. Sometimes you need to use this scale factor now to avoid very, very small or very, very large vectors. So no scaling. And let me go here and plot every 4. And we have this. Okay, so let me scale also 0.05. 2 small, 0.1, much better. Let me go 0.4. So basically this is what we have, and see that here you have the rotation. Quite nice, very nice. So see that the visualization is getting much, much nicer. Okay, so how do we get the projection of this vector? Because I only want to see the vertical projection in that plane, the parallel or the perpendicular. So there is another filter for that. So I select the plane, okay, where I want to do it. You can do it also in the volume, if I will recall. You can test it. So you have surface vector. So you have a lot of stuff. I remember a lot of filters. So there is a lot here. So I want this one. Always tooltip, it will give you some basic information, but this is the one we need. And you see already here. So select your input vector and then constraint mode. How do you want? Parallel or perpendicular? So we want the parallel. And then you get the same field and you need to plot another vector, another glyph in this one that you are computing that projection. You don't do that in the vector, you do it in the plane or volume, whatever. So let me put it here. No scaling. 1. Change the color, and there you go. So this is the projection. Okay, so now let me go plot everything here. You have everything now, too much. Let me put every 5. And there you go. So this is the coordinate now of the vector. Okay, not the coordinate, the magnitude, the projection in this direction. So see that the case definition, I have the flow entering, but it's entering as an angle. So you see here that you have there that component of the vector, vertical component. And here you have all the rotation. Let me change here, 0.2. And there you go. So you start to see there the vortex core here. Let me change, put Mach number, or let me put pressure. There you go. Let me use this one. And this is it. And as you can see, very easy, very nice. I really like this. Many times I need to use this kind of visualization. You get this projection of the vector from the plane. You can apply these projections and also plot the vectors all over your domain, even in the walls. Remember that in this case we can do it very easily because it's Euler. We don't have the velocity here. We have velocity at the wall, but if you have Navier-Stokes and you try to put velocity at the wall, it will be 0 by definition, but then you can project it. It's up to you. A lot of stuff you can do. You can put these vectors in the isosurfaces as well, or isolines. We're going, let's play with that. But let's skip here. So for instance, now I want the perpendicular projection. So it will be this component, X component. The previous was the Z, or then in the other plane. Now it's the parallel to the plane, perpendicular to the plane. And there you go. You can play now with the scales also here. And let me stay here now because I want this one. I really like these vectors. So for instance, I am here, and for instance, let me do U scaling, and as you can see, from time to time you need to play, and there you go. So here you have the largest magnitude, the smallest, and much better, easier to see. Let me put it here, 0.4. And there you go. These are vectors, quite easy to use. What I want to show you also, previously we visit now the gradient filter. So let me go here to point out that you have the derivative filter, but we use in another video, not compute derivative. Okay, but I want to use again gradient. Okay, gradient and velocity and advanced options, and I want to compute vorticity, just to show you that here, this region. So we're going to compute vorticity in Paraview, but you can get it also from the solver. We have it here, and there you go. So this is where you have the circulation, and see that the vectors, they are just tracking or giving that circulation, the rotation. So this is the magnitude. To be precise, that will be normal to x, and you have the rotation. And let me play here, -30 and 30. Not too much. 100. Apply. Probably better here, 200. Okay, so what we have here, the rotation, okay, it's giving you the sense of the rotation. Okay, much better. And your the core of the vortex there. So we have it there. You can apply in multiple planes. And what I wanted to do now is that, let me go domain here. Complications and gradient. Let me recompute that. Shouldn't do vortex, and there you go. So it will give an error because already exists. So delete, and now I should have the correct one. So be careful about that. And in this case, I want to this object. Let me go isosurfaces, and I want isosurfaces of. Okay, I have the gradient. Oh, let me see. Okay, let me go erase. Compute vorticity, let me change one, gradient 1. Okay, I used the wrong field, and there you go. So now I should have my field. Okay, will be vorticity 1. I don't see it. And if I go here, gradient X, Y, I don't see vorticity, same as compute gradients. Okay, so there, I know what was happened, put it there. So now I can, using vorticity, okay, you can capture now that vortex. And let me compare here, saying isosurfaces, and I want to use Q criterion. Apply, and let me use 1000. Let me synchronize views, link camera. Okay, so you want to unlink cameras, you go here, manage link, and you can erase or click, remove, and there you go. So boom. Oh, click here. Let me put solid color. Let me select the aircraft here. And solid color. I really like this green here. Put it there. Q criterion and vorticity. We can change this one. So For instance, let me increase vorticity. So vorticity Q criterion kind of are very close, very related. Apply. Let me put 200. Okay, and there you go. 150. Okay. 110. Okay, so this is it. So as you can see now, vorticity kind of resolve Q criterion captures better here because it only captures now the core of the vortex. Here, vorticity also captures the shear layer of the bond and of the flow close to the walls and so on. Well, there is no shear here, but it will capture some other layers, extra layer. You can also use pressure. Pressure in theory should be the best one, but it's very tricky to control. That being said, let me click here, apply, and you can put your vectors, you can put them in that isosurface. And you can hide there. Let me put here. Let me put it by Mach number and scaling 0.1, too small, 0.4. There you go. Very, very cool. So you go down here, be careful, I will click here, but you need good video cards, and now I enable the ray tracing, and you can cast shadows. And here also, I think it should be enabled by view. Okay, and let me cast shadow. There you go. So if you want to save this, remember you have save screenshot. You call it F1, and then here you can select, you have two views, select the whole views and many options. Okay. Yeah, I think we introduced now vectors. Remember that these vectors, they're called Glyph. You need a vector field, okay, as to assemble that, and not necessarily have to be velocity. It can be the points to get cell centers, and you can change the shape. You know, you have many options, so feel free to play now with all these options and the different representations that you can have. Oh, look at that. Oh, cool. I like this. Okay, so that's all for this video. Thank you for your attention. See you next time. Bye.